Hey, we are ENTT,
and you're listening to
the Us People podcast
with Savia Rocks.
Hey guys, this is Savia Rocks and welcome to Us People, the new podcast that I'll be bringing out. I'm lucky enough to be in the studio with ENTT. Here today we have Elliott, Kaan and Mary.
Hiya.
Hi guys, thank you so much. So today I've got 3 facts about you guys, and I just wanted to make sure, just to let everybody else know, all your fans know, that you guys are a 3-piece alternative electronic band.
Yeah.
And you formed together in 2017.
Yeah.
And you all run the studio as well, is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, wicked. What made you guys actually decide to have a studio?
So it started off with Kaan and myself, being Elliott, back in late 2015, when we were doing a different project. We had a base up in Farringdon, just up in central London. And then a year and a half later, obviously, we met Mary, who came on board. She obviously came on board, and as well as obviously doing the band stuff, she was a great asset to helping clients with songwriting, because that can be quite a difficult task.
Oh, definitely.
People want to create a song, create a new idea, and whether it be an experienced person in the industry or someone that's brand new, it's always good to have inside help, basically. So
this is actually for you, Elliott, as well. You say that you started producing when you was 14 years old.
Yeah, we did.
Now, the mad thing is, compare when you was 14 to compare it to today's industry. What advice would you give a 14-year-old who's just starting today and say, you know what, I want to be a producer? What would you give them? What would you tell them? So,
I mean, when Kaan and I sort of decided we wanted to start doing music, we knew nothing. Is that right, mate? We knew nothing. I mean,
not much has changed.
No one taught us how to produce. No one taught us where to start and anything like that. So if I was to say anything at all, I would say start by doing your research, start by looking online, and how to not only start either, it depends. If you want to become a producer, for example, start with the basics. How to start with, maybe simple things like chord progressions, how to start making simple beat structures and stuff like that. When you start wanting to put yourself out there, then possibly look into how to promote yourself as a producer and how to sell your content, how to start collaborating, working with other artists. And then obviously with that you gain more confidence, more experience probably, and
Perfect. What made you decide to do this type of genre of music? Because there's so much genres of music out there, but did you feel that there was a gap in the market for this?
Do you know what? I actually think this came kind of authentically. So
Perfect.
When I met these guys, they were kind of doing more dance music, and I used to just write with my guitar, and it was more
wicked.
kind of alternative kind of stuff. And I remember we spent like so much time in the studio when we first met, just trying to find our sound. And we worked with this guy, Steve Bernard. He's a really cool producer. He sort of is like a mentor. Or they basically worked with him, and he's just like, I don't understand where it fits. It was like a process, and then one day we found it. It wasn't something that we said we were gonna do. It happened. We just came across it, and
it took a year to really find the sound that we were going for before we started gigging and trying to put our own stuff out there. It was a big process because we moved from electronic dance music to that.
I was going through your website just the other day, and I saw I was going through your press packs. And I noticed that you guys kind of have people like Disclosure. But if you were to say today, is there anybody else that has influenced you all individually, where you can say this person has influenced my writing, my producing, the way I think, the way I feel, the way I act towards people on stage? Could you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, there was one obvious one when Kaan and I started producing. We looked up to the likes of an 80s band like Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
That would be, because they're obviously a lot of electronic music, but they love like heavy guitars and stuff like that.
Cool.
And we love up and coming bands, like there's a band Kosheen that Kaan and I really love as well.
I saw that. I was reading about that as well. Yeah, I saw that on there. Yeah.
Awesome music. So yeah, what do you think, Mary, for yourself as well?
For me, I I'm a massive fan of Mick Jagger, the way he commands a stage, Freddie Mercury.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I absolutely love them, and I grew up in the Gaga era as well, so I love pop, to be fair, as well. And she kind of made me because when I was a teenager, teenage years are hard for everyone, to be fair, and she kind of made me feel kind of empowered and feel confident in myself and to be exactly who you are, because you're great in who you are. So Gaga's been a massive influence for me. She's I love people that are musical and theatrical, and they cross genres, and they're not afraid to experiment and things good. Like that. Yeah,
which teaches other people as well, which is
exactly
good.
Yeah.
What about you, Kaan?
For me, I was brought up basically on my mum's music, so it was a lot of 80s stuff. Yeah, like Elliott said, Depeche Mode, kind of Duran Duran, all that kind of thing. When I was young, I would listen to a lot of pop, what was on the radio. Yeah, and then my boy Calvin Harris came along.
There you go. Yeah,
that's not what he. I guess he was one of my main influences, and the person who I really looked up to at the time. And that's why we started making this kind of dance music, and it kind of moved on to like Avicii and kind of people like that. Then we met Mary, and like literally met Mary at a house party, showed her one of our tracks at a house party, and she took it away, wrote something to it.
Wicked.
And lots of other people actually tried to write things to it, but it just was generic.
It's so mad how different people have different connections.
Yeah, exactly.
And it plays a big part in your music as well.
Yeah.
But when I heard her one, I was like, that is so different to what everyone else is coming up with, and her vocal as well. It's a unique one.
Quite drunken rendition of use and body working.
I told her to give me a little sample. But now it's kind of just a lot of indie stuff. So like Elliott said, with Depeche Mode, another influence would be Empire of the Sun. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have definitely.
Yeah, love them.
Just a lot of stuff. Yeah, my girlfriend listens to a lot of indie stuff as well, so she's helped me listen to more stuff and really, build and learn.
What was it like for you guys to actually perform together for your first time?
Nerve-wracking.
It was nervous.
Yeah,
very nervous.
I mean, before we performed, I think for the first time at the end of May, just last year gone, we took, I think it was 6 months of, practicing as a band to sort of really gain that confidence and go, okay, let's put ourselves out there, let's see how we do. Yeah. And now, 6 months later, we got 12 gigs under our belt. Whoa. This year just gone, and we played at the O2 Academy in Islington. So
perfect.
Things are going all right at the moment.
I mean, our first gig as well, it was the smallest stage as well. There's 4 of us because we have a session guitarist. Kaan couldn't even move too much because his head was bouncing off the ceiling, and it was. I kid you not, I couldn't even walk. I'm just the guys were great. It was a fantastic night, but it was like it was underneath a Swiss restaurant in the middle of Soho, and it was just like the narrowest space. Wow. Like it was so random.
It was like an alcove, basically.
Yeah, but it was really cool.
But in a way, those do you find that those moments enhance you and give you a kind of rush? Yeah. To say that you want to do more. Exactly. You want to keep going.
Exactly. And I think you should just give your all every performance. Doesn't matter if you're playing to one person, 1,000 people in a small venue or the O2. Yeah. You just got to do it, and you got to enjoy yourself, live in your moment, to be fair. Like, you don't think about that stuff. This is what we're here to do. This is what we love. Yeah. You just go out on stage and you do what you love to do, and that's it.
Have you guys always wanted to be musicians or producers, or was there any? If you didn't have this talent, and you said, okay, well, I don't have this talent, what do you think you would be doing today?
Oh God! I mean, I think I'd try and be a writer maybe, or something like that. I mean, I love writing. I've got this blog that I'm trying to come out with now. It should be up in the next few weeks.
Oh, perfect.
Or maybe a chef or something like that as well. I like food, but I don't. To be fair, I don't think I'd be complete without it. Like, music's not what I do; it's who I am. Yeah. So there's nothing that would.
What about the guys as well?
if I wasn't doing music, well, I can't imagine not doing music, but I guess it would probably be something to do with some kind of medical thing, working with NHS or animals or something like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm really passionate about those kind of things, but like Mary said, it's my life, and really happy that this talent came through when it did, and we got a chance to build it, and you know.
You say, Maggie?
If I wasn't involved in the music industry, I'd probably want to be a sports coach. Because I took several courses back at secondary school, and then I went on to sort of manage. Like, I'm really passionate about cricket. Funny enough, really boring, but
no, everyone's got a sport. I play golf, guys. So
I love golf.
I play golf, so
I love golf. Love cricket, baseball, all that. But yeah, no, I coach an under-18s team for my local club a couple of years in a row before I sort of put that aside, and you know, I wanted to prioritize the music and the studio and, you know, getting us out there. So but yeah, if I wasn't involved in that, then yeah.
I think there's one fundamental question that I do ask everyone, and I find it one of the most important questions. I know in everyone's life we have good and we have bad points, but did you ever feel that there was a time where you wanted to give up, whether it's lack of money, you didn't have the support, you didn't have the courage, because we all go through different things. What did you do to overcome it, and what advice would you give to people who are in that situation now, where they feel stuck, but they love music as just as much as you guys do? What would you tell them?
Well, personally, it's something that I've gone through, and it was a tough time. It was a tough time. Even when you have the support around you, it's like a fight between you and your brain. Your brain's telling you something, and you're trying to fight it, but it's like that. Sometimes your brain can just, you know, it's mental health as well, man. That's what it's about. And it's trying to overcome mental health, which is a very big thing and a serious thing. But it's about taking criticism is one thing. Really take criticism.
I know it's hard sometimes.
That
it's hard.
Brings people down. Yeah. Like I've been in situations where I've read things and you're like, it brings you down, and it's hard to get back on the horse. But at the same time, that criticism is there to help you progress and to become a better, you know, version of yourself.
True.
People are not doing it. There are people, unfortunately, that do it just to bring you down. But most people in the industry do it to improve you and push you forward. Yeah. And I think that's really, just keep working at it. Just keep working, even when you feel like nothing's going well.
Did you have a strategy towards it, or was it something that you just took day by day?
I think I took it day by day, but I really just fought against it. That's what I done. I just really tried to push out all the negativity and just fight day by day to try and get back on that horse. And and thankfully it's happened, and I think personally I'm in a really good place.
It's good
where we are, and I think everyone else is in a good place.
It seems like you got a really good band. You got really good band members with you as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So no matter what you go through,
we're family. I think
that's the word I was looking for.
Family.
It's family. Once you have that, you're gone clear. And I think listeners who are listening today, your fans who are listening today, they'll understand that no matter what you go through, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, but it's just it is really hard to see.
But you've got to
you have to keep going through that.
Yeah.
So, because I was going to say, you know, you asked me earlier on about being, you know, a producer at 14 years old, and you're starting off in the industry. You're going to feel like you're alone because you're going to get no one coming back possibly for the first couple of times because you're only learning your way, and then like still make sure you have that confidence to go, okay, that's a knockback, but don't worry. If I keep pushing, if I keep going, like that's one thing that drove us. We just kept pushing and kept going, and eventually we learnt, you know, about how to, like I say earlier, approach certain business situations and approach the production side of things, and Yeah, we're here when we're sitting here now.
This is like the hardest industry in the world as well. I think one of them. There's no manual. Everything else, you go to school, you go to uni, you can have a career path set up for you. You know,
True.
you go and you do that. There's no way of there's no right way of doing this. There's just so many ways. You can't even. If someone told you this is exactly what I did, follow these steps, it might not even work for you. Yeah. So it's just about trying everything you can and keep. You just have to keep. The minute you give up, that's when you've lost.
Yeah,
you can't give up.
It's about positivity. You have to be positive.
Yeah, you can make it even if you're 40, you know, or something. If you love it, you just have to keep going.
There are so many industries out there. I feel it doesn't matter about your age. Whereas nowadays, like say for instance, it might be football. They care about how old you are, and then they give you a deadline of when you have to stop.
Yeah.
But I feel with music, like you guys are saying, there is no deadline. You could do it to your 100.
Yeah.
Basically, what's the most embarrassing moment you guys have had together, and how did you overcome that?
Well, this probably my moment was probably the two of us from an earlier project, but this was when I think we played a gig or something like that at a club.
Oh, I remember this.
I've heard of it.
And basically we went on after a really big act, and I think this nightclub had about 70-80 people in it, so we were like, yeah, brilliant, okay, this is going to be a good crowd. Within 10 minutes we had somehow cleared out the club to about 5 or 6 people left in it.
Can I just say for the record, I wasn't in the band at the time.
That's why I mentioned an earlier project, so I didn't bring Mary into it. Yeah, so that was an embarrassing moment, and that was going to be my point from earlier about having to try and build ourselves up again, because like at that point I looked at Kaan and went, are we sure?
But we were following a big name though.
We were
I don't
following.
know if it was someone like one of these garage DJs, like it was someone like DJ Luck or someone who had a big one-hit wonder in it. Like
it's true.
It's obviously everyone's there for that person, and then when you have to follow up, everyone's like, "Nah, he's gone. I'm gone." But that's basically what it is. Like it's those moments.
Babies.
Oh, but you learn from it, right?
Yeah, exactly that. We learned from it straight away, and we built ourselves back up. You know, we realised, okay, what strategy do we need to do in order to move forward, and how do we make sure this doesn't happen again? Because, you know, one piece of advice my dad always gave me was, right, you make a mistake once, don't do it again, because you're going to learn from it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Exactly.
You, Mary?
Well, okay, so mine's just a personal thing. So, so I have to watch what I eat before I go on stage, because I do burp a lot, right?
That's
It has to come up from one end.
Right.
I wish we had a video, because Elliott's face.
So and then when I'm singing, it can come out, you know, like it doesn't, like whilst I'm singing. And I remember a gig, I don't think anyone noticed, but I was also getting a bit sick. I had to swallow it whilst I was singing. This is where I can't remember where we were. We were in.
I think I remember. It's actually.
I think we had.
It was the gig you were at, Savia.
The gig you were at,
Was it? Are you serious? Oh my gosh!
So you didn't.
So imagine if I was in front of you.
Yeah.
And I'm about to take a picture, and you just throw up in my face.
Oh God, I hope not. No, I always turn my head. So I was singing, and then I don't even finish the note. I'm like. And then I carry on into the word. So, I mean, if I throw up on you, all I can do is apologise. I mean,
well, hey, I think I've done it to a few of my friends. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We've all been there. You know when you wake up and someone else is sick.
We've all been there. Who is the one person who has supported you from start to where you are now? And how has it impacted you? What does it mean to you?
I've got 2 people.
Go for it. If it's 2.
So obviously my mum.
Yep.
My mum's always supported me. She's never been that parent to say, I need you to do something that has basically putting a title above your head. Like she's always supported me with whatever I wanted to do, and she's been behind me all the time. Another one is Elliott.
Yeah.
From a young age.
Aww.
No, honestly, from a young age.
Yeah, I actually saw your pictures when I saw the press pack pictures.
Oh yeah.
You guys were really young.
told me
I can
that.
see you were really young in there.
Because
Yeah.
I was the one who came up to me and was like, Elliott, look, GarageBand, we can make some music and we can be DJs. Man.
With a little bit
It was
of luck.
always like, you want to do music? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's give it a try.
Since that young age, Elliott's always like been behind the music and really pushed whatever way he can and like put in work. And when I say work, a lot
God,
of
this
work.
No, I
guy
can
is a
see that.
grafter.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see
mean,
that.
We kind of, the schedules are all planned. He's
We
got
work as a
everything.
unit at the end of the day.
We do, but you are the special sauce.
But I can't say
Oh.
I can't
So-
Can we
He's
not
getting
bully
shy
my
now.
ego,
Can you see
please?
that?
Mary will get there eventually, but it's just. Mary's
yeah,
gonna
you
be
see
here
how
for
my
2
name
years.
was
No,
involved.
Okay, don't worry, Mary. Your support now, man. I appreciate you, man.
Oh Lord! Oh, you're gonna have to hug her
No,
now.
I'm kidding. Go on.
Mary, don't worry. It's okay.
Wow.
If there's one song out there that you wish you wrote or produced, what would it be, and why would you choose that song?
Guys, we've done a interview on this.
Yeah, we
Sure.
had
Ah.
a I'm trying to. I feel like my
found that
answer
interview.
changes.
Did
all
you?
I found a
the
few.
time.
Ah, damn it, damn it,
see,
damn it. Right,
See,
okay.
she's gone through the archive. So I'm gonna.
I done my research before I came.
By my
I
time,
can
by
tell,
my
I can
time.
tell.
Yeah. So so the question you asked, while I'm trying to buy time.
Do this discreetly. Do this discreetly.
Exactly. Do you know what a cool song that I love? It might be like something like Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not just a song for me. It's a whole piece. It is a symphony in itself. The movement in it, I'm a sucker for strings. Honestly,
Yeah.
bring me a violin or a string quartet any day. I mean, I used to be a cellist when I was
Wicked.
when I was really young. Don't ask me to play it now; it'd be awful, and I think we'd all clear the room. But like it, god. So something like that, and it's got that really cool vibe. It's trying to be cool, and if you listen to some of the lyrics, I mean, they're pretty deep. I'm a sucker for a song that has, like it makes you feel good. But if you listen to what is actually being said, there's something like there's a subtext there, and it makes you think. So anything like that, really. Yeah, that's my kind of.
I've got too many. I've got way too many.
You're only allowed one.
Everyone.
You're only allowed
I've only
one.
got a little bit of time, so.
Alright, if I have to pick one, and I have to bang on about Depeche Mode again, but Depeche Mode have got a song called Precious,
Okay.
and the music's great, but it's not so much the music, it's the lyrics. He's basically talking about him breaking up with his wife,
Yeah.
and he's got kids in the middle, and it's basically talking about that, and he's talking to his kids, and it hits you when you listen to it. It really does hit you, and it's basically a masterpiece in my opinion. So if I could write something like that, I would be very proud of myself, man. I think they should be proud of themselves for writing that.
Yeah,
'cause
definitely.
I got
that's
emotional just hearing you talk about it.
yeah,
Honestly.
no, it's brilliant. It's a masterpiece, man.
Oh. Go
Um,
on, Bean.
I've had all this time to think about
Yeah.
it as well.
Big shot.
Okay, let's.
The thing goes scrap.
Yeah, sure. So, let me just say, Oasis Wonderwall because it gets played so much. So you.
That is true.
That's a big
business
tune.
That is true.
No.
He's looking for his
No,
PRS.
that's a good song.
Also because
Yeah,
it's a
that is true.
fantastic song.
Yeah.
And no matter, as soon as you mention that song to anybody, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know that.
do love
That's an
Oasis."
absolute tune."
Oasis are brilliant.
Yeah. I know there was that whole thing about Oasis and Blur growing up. I don't even. I'm not
yeah.
about musical beef. If I like
Yeah.
someone, I love them. I'm
That's
not
it.
a one-sided
The
person.
one side wonder.
They're both pretty cool. So yeah.
If there was, well, how can I say this? Oof. If there was anything that you could change in the music industry, what would it be?
I think for me it'd be like accessibility. It's and the money. So like to actually get into it, you have to really graft, and people just rob you basically.
True.
And the artist puts in all the work, and you don't really get much in return. And
Is this, what would you say? Is it the record label's fault, or would you say it's the publishing's?
it's the industry. I think it's a it's a multi-billion-pound industry, and people at the top are gonna take what they can, and that's it. It's capitalism, rightly or wrongly. That's just how the system is. You can try and make it. That's what we're trying to do as a self-funded sort of thing. We try and do everything and push things out ourselves, but it can be so hard if you've got no money. You're just you and your guitar or something like that. Like, how are you gonna get out there? It's just horrible, and that's why a lot of people give up, and that's what's sad about it. Sometimes it just takes the enjoyment away from the music itself, is being a business. Sorry, I got a bit into that there.
Which is good.
But
This is exactly what I want everyone to hear.
Yeah, it's
because it is a hard industry to be in. We love it. We love music.
Yeah.
But then it's hard to push ourselves out there. What's the one thing you've learnt from music that you think you'll take with you for the rest of your life?
I've never stuck to anything as long as I have with music.
Yeah.
I think it's sticking to something and taking the knockbacks, taking criticisms, all of that. I think because it's something so personal as well, you have to, when you learn to deal with those kind of setbacks, it helps you with, bigger things. Because if someone knocks your music, it's not just knocking your music, you feel like they're knocking you.
True.
You put you into that.
That's
if
true.
you can take that, then you go out in the real world, you're fine. You're just like, whatever, like, it is, and you become you, and this is how I am, and you can like it or you don't have to. That's fine as well.
Yeah, I think it just it allows you to grow as a person.
Yeah.
If you stay on the right path and you just continue making your music and doing what you need to do and getting somewhere with it, I think it just helps you grow, literally, like mentally, everything. Like, it just, you can really become a great what's the word,
human.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You could say alien if you want
I was
to.
legit gonna say human, but I was like, well, that sounds a bit funny, doesn't it, man? A great human, like. But yeah, basically, yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot in this industry from what I like. Yeah, if I was not doing music, I feel like I would be a different person in a way.
True.
Yeah. So,
what is the one memory that you would give to your fans, or what advice would you give to your fans, I should say, in the terms of coming from you? So some people say, what is happiness, for instance?
Yeah.
Are you happy? If you're not happy, find what makes you happy. What advice would you give to your fans from you guys? What advice? Or
I'd say try not to. This is a struggle
Would you say in terms of the music industry, or
just in general? It doesn't have to be about the music industry.
Cool.
But it's just for your fans from you guys. What would you give them to keep them uplifted?
I think try not to get distracted by things in life that you know are detrimental to you. Just know your goals and just try your best to sort of structure your life in a way that you know would be more beneficial. And sometimes it takes a conscious effort. I can be terrible, I can be at parties, I can do whatever. It's a conscious effort, but you have to try and find what you love and try and stick to it, whatever it is. And you don't have to follow the norms of 9 to 5 or doing all that stuff. You can make the life you want no matter what situation you start off in. We're all from different backgrounds, completely different backgrounds, and yet we're all in the same room at the same time. Same goal, and that's it. Sharing the same stage as every other artist. You're never bigger than anyone. You're never less than. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just learn to love who you are as well. Never try to be anyone else. Never try to copy anyone else, because there's.
Do you find that there are a lot of people out there who are copying?
I do.
I feel like that's a natural
it's a
thing
natural
in
thing.
humans as well.
Yeah.
Safety. Maybe they're not confident in who they are.
Yeah, I think that's what one of the problems with the music industry is, like. People try to copy everyone else. Like you for example, you see someone who has a great body, and you're like, oh yeah, I have to go through all this mad pain to try and get this body, otherwise I'm not normal. Where technically they're not normal. No one's normal, but they're the ones that are not normal because they're going through this regime because they have no choice but to go through this regime. They're being told to do it. So just
you don't even know what happens behind the scenes.
Exactly. You're only seeing what an Instagram picture shows you. Basically,
that's true.
That's what you're seeing, and you think that's normal, but it's not normal because they're going through a whole madness to get to that point. Like,
or they might just be that, and it's fine as well.
Yeah, it's like you have to love yourself. Never let.
How do you guys feel about social media? Has it helped you or has it hindered you?
Helps us from a business perspective, but that's a boring answer. So what?
Yeah.
I'm
That's a
that
boring
idiot
answer.
that posts my eggs. So I mean, that's how I view it. I'm just there. I love selfies, but not because I don't really care about the followers. It's just I'm not really into it in that way as well. I don't actually understand it. I'm basically like a granddad, right? I don't know what's going on. I've heard about the tweeting and the snapping of the chat and all of that.
Have you heard about Instagram yet?
Insta what? yeah. So
FaceTune?
FaceTune.
The Facebook. But like, yeah, I try and use it to just stay connected. And I think I try and promote and stuff. So we do. But I think I'm the better one in terms of my own account. I actually use it, although I haven't used it in a while. These guys don't use their accounts at all.
I'm honestly not a fan of posting on social media. I literally just go onto Facebook and just read memes and stuff like that. But I never actually, I never write about my life or take pictures of myself, which I need to, of course, because that's what you have to do in the industry, man. But
I suppose it's with due time. I think.
Jennifer Aniston only got an Instagram a few months ago, and
you go.
she broke it.
When she started,
She broke
when she
Instagram.
started, social media wasn't a thing though. When she first blew,
I
social
know,
media
but
wasn't
still,
a
it's
thing.
been how long?
No, of course, but she's already in a position where
she can.
But like
As soon as she goes in
nowadays-
it, everyone will start following straight away.
Exactly.
But nowadays, to get fans and to just push yourself out there, you need to use it because that is how the world works nowadays. It's all about streaming music. It's all about seeing.
Do you still think that you can make it without having the internet?
It's harder.
I don't know. I don't think so. We don't even really have normal charts anymore. It's all online.
That's true.
And all that.
That
stuff.
is true.
So
I miss Top of the Pops actually.
Oh god, I used to love Top of the Pops. Their little miming.
I mean, if we didn't have social media, there would be another way for artists to promote themselves.
True.
And for record labels.
True.
And for big people in the industry to look at you and go, okay, let's do that. Well, like, for example, we'd still have live gigs. We'd still have so many other avenues in order to put yourself out there.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
I feel like social media is like kind of your CV for the labels to see where you are, what you're doing.
But do
and
they
are you
justify
worth
it?
Are
But do
you
they justify it? Because, say for instance, one person has, say, 1 million likes or 1 million followers, but then you guys might only have 300. But then your music is fantastic, but it's not.
I think that's the problem with the industry nowadays as well. Is that it's very easy to. Like, there's a lot of talented people out there. There's a lot of talented people who only get, like you said, 300 to 200
They
likes.
never get that break.
Yeah, and then you have people who literally make one hit wonder, which is a very simple track, and it's unfair, but at the same time, labels look for who is worth it.
And the thing is, there's people
investment.
liking it. The funny thing, it's not something we can even say anything. There's people that do love it, and it's either you get involved in it or you don't. But the million people like it or the 300, it's still people that want to see that stuff. It's either you give people what they want to see. Some people just like seeing the band as not just music, but as who you are, what you get up to, that kind of stuff. They want to feel like they're personally involved in your life, and that's a way of sort of connecting people as well. Seeing like, oh look, she had eggs for breakfast again. So I'm really hungry.
Where can we find you guys? Your social media. Now I'm going to say, where can we find you guys? So if your fans want to find you, or anyone wants to listen to your music, where can they actually find you?
So our Instagram handle is at ENTT, so entity_music. Facebook, it's facebook.com/entity live.
Yep.
And then our website is www.entity.co.uk, and then you can find links to all our Spotify, SoundCloud, this, that,
all that jam.
Twitter, and this. And
Tell me a bit about when your next EP is coming out.
Ooh.
so our next EP is coming out on the 21st of February. It's a 5-track EP named Copio. I'm saying that right. Coepio.
It's
I
Latin.
do
We
apologise.
speak
It's
Latin
Latin.
in this group.
So what does that actually mean?
It's commence to begin to go forward, commencing.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is cool.
You know, as our debut EP, we need a captivating name or something that's, you know, almost not obvious in a way.
Yeah.
We just want something that's striking. So yeah, we're going to have that EP coming out. So that's, you know, our first real display of, you know, all the different types of music that we consider alternative dance.
Yeah.
So there's a great mix of stuff on there. So we're really excited for everyone to listen to it.
Guys, you hear that? Go out and listen to it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So obviously it'll be available on all of our platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, Google Play. Should I keep going on?
Plugging everything.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, and then at that same day as well, we're playing a gig up in central London in Soho at the Spice of Life. So that's a great way to announce.
You can buy tickets on your website, can't they?
Yeah, you can.
There you go.
So you just scroll to down to the tour dates, and there should be available dates to purchase tickets for. So
Perfect. ENTT, I want to thank you so much for letting me come to your studio today. You guys have helped me out immensely, even from the process of getting everything ready. This is Savia Rocks, and I want to say to everyone out there, stay positive, stay happy, and continue to be kind to one another.
Thank you.